So you've just unlocked Westmarch and you're wondering what everything is inside of this little city. Today I'm going to give you a complete guide of every single thing inside of Westmarch so that when you're here, you know exactly where to go and exactly what every spot here is all about and what they do. If you find this useful, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's dive into Westmarch. What we're looking at here is the overall map of the entire area. And when you click on out, we are in the top portion. We're going to be right up here in the palace courtyard to start. And we're going to start up here with these two big areas. One is an Elder Rift. This is where you're going to be running your legendary crest. You can also run your rare crests here as well. And that's going to be your way of getting legendary gems. Next to that, you have your challenge rifts. This is where you run these for time. They're gated by combat rating. As you can see, the combat rating is in red right here, which means this would be difficult for me to complete. And in doing these, you earn experience, scrap materials, but most importantly, the cryptic crystals, which are used to upgrade your green set items. Moving down from the pillars up here, we have this crest merchant. This is where every single day you should be going, or every single week you should be going and buying at least one legendary crest, a red bound legendary crest with 1,600 platinum. And if you do warband activities, you can buy another one, an eternal legendary crest with another 1,600 platinum. Next to that, we have the Heraldric Altar. This is where you turn in your monstrous essence. This is essentially the book of all of the enemies and of all of the fish that you've caught and encountered inside of the game. This is a great way for you to get resources as far as experience and legendary gear when you turn in the monstrous essence. Right next to that, we have the training grounds. Here you can attack these training dummies and it'll give you breakdowns of the amount of damage that you do, whether it be with your skills, with your attacks. The breakdown is really cool. It's how you can test out your builds. There's also a essence transfer here, which has stash, armory, and essence transfer if you want to swap into any different pieces of gear. There's multiple of these around Westmarch. Next, I want to take you to the bounty board. Over here, every single day, you're going to be getting 8 different quests. These 8 quests, they reward you pretty nicely inside of the game with experience to progress the account. Also, you'll get whatever other materials you encounter in the open world. And when you go to turn these in, after you complete 4, as you can see, I've accepted 4 quests. Once I complete them, I'm going to return them right over here to Derek. I'm going to come right to Derek, return them, and there will be rewards there for me. There'll also be a chest that pops up right here, and that'll give me additional rewards. Next, we have the accursed towers. I don't own a tower right now, but when you do, you will come in here to either do runs inside of the accursed tower to hold down that position to get as many of the shards as you can, or you will come here to collect your rewards from owning and possessing one of these towers, your experience. You could also get this through the HUD, but I'm focusing on actual Westmarch today, not all of the HUDs inside of the game. That will be potentially tomorrow's video. Next to the accursed towers, we have the Sanctum. The Sanctum is where you're gonna do your runs to get those crystals so you can upgrade your stats. I'll show you really quickly what I'm talking about. We're not going to do the full run. I often don't do runs anymore because this is something that you can send your pets on, but when you jump into the shrine, you will notice that we have all of these stat upgrades, and we're going to be able to unlock, as you can see up top here, all these different types of crystals which could be placed into these, and you can increase your stats from all of that. A guide on this is a video in itself on how that whole function works and what's the best way to do it. For right now, we are going to continue on with our tour of Westmarch. So again, we are still up here in the palace courtyard, and I basically broke down everything up in this area. We're going to head on over to the Immortal Outlook and Waypoint. So when we come up here, this is a little area here for the Immortals. If you are an Immortal, you can come into the Hall of Ascension. I am currently not an Immortal. I am a Shadow, so we can't go inside of there. But inside of the Hall of Ascension is where it's going to be a meeting place for clan members and things like that. Activities can happen inside of there as well. coming around, assuming you're not an immortal. If you're a brand new player, you are probably not an immortal. That would be strange if you were. Sometimes there's a vendor right here, and sometimes there's a vendor right around here for different activities that you would do. The what is it called? Battle Royale mode right here will be in place, and over here will be another one of those PvPvE game modes that'll pop up. We have another one of our Essence Transfer Stash and Armory right there. If you don't know what an Armory is, it's where you can save presets of your builds and you can swap to them whenever you want to, make modifications, etc. Right next to that, we have Battlegrounds. This is where you can do, look at this, I could begin a new season. This is where you can do regular Battlegrounds or the other variations as well. Then you can come up here, you have the wall. This is showing who the immortals are, giving a little bit of credit to all of those players. Pretty cool animation that comes along with it, and some good street cred that you get from being up on the wall. Right there, we could skip through it, and you could see who is currently working as an immortal on the on your server. Then we have the Hilts Trader. We come to the Hilts Trader every day. I come on over and I buy a rare crest for limited time, and I go through general and I get the Telluric Pearl and then as many rare crests as I can afford. It's a good idea to spend your hilts at the Hilts Trader. Spend it on what you like. This isn't a guide about what to buy there. It's a guide about what this area is all about. All right, so we're going to make our way down right now. We're making our way down a little bit more towards the bottom of the map. And over here we have a Barber. The Barber is where you could change the look or the gender of your character if you want to. This is something that I never use because I am happy with the gender and the look of all of my characters, but you could mess around with it, you could save it, it doesn't cost anything. We are just gonna leave there because we got that all under lock. Now, if you do want to change class though, that's gonna be right over here. And I'm gonna show you on the map again where we are so you can have a better understanding. So we started up here in the Courtyard, we went up to the Outlook Waypoint, and then we came down here, we saw the Barber, and now we're right over here in Celine's something. Right here, you can class change if you want to. You can class change every single day inside of the game. It's super easy, and it's a great mechanic in my opinion, so you don't have to have multiple classes. But now I'm going to take you back into the core of Westmarch. We have another armory right here. Again, this is where you can change your stuff if you want to change your gear. Let me show you exactly where we are because we're in basically another heart area. We're in Rackin's Plaza right around here. I'm going to show you everything that's going on. So we went from the top to the top right to the bottom right, and now we're in the bottom. We'll make our way back over up a little bit more in a moment. Here you have your Blacksmith. You could craft items at the Blacksmith. Regular, skill stone, set items. You could do your rune smithing at the Blacksmith if you want to, which I don't often do right here. And you could do other services such as salvaging your gear. You could upgrade your gear. You could use reforged stones. This is where you do rank transfer, enchanting gear, salvaging remains, and curse purifying. There's also this smithing materials vendor that I like to go to if I'm trying to upgrade gear and I don't have enough dust. I will often convert some of my scrap materials into dust so I have enough for the switches. You also can get your fabled wisps here, all of that stuff. Reforged stones, they're all sold here. Or if you want a dawning echo, this is used to awaken your slots, which is why my gear slots are all purple. They're all awakened. That's where you would purchase that. Right here, right across the street, you have your stash. You could throw a whole bunch of things inside of your stash if you want to. Pretty easy stuff. Stash is a pretty simplistic space. And right next to the stash, you have the market. You can either come over here to the market to get to the market, and you could buy, sell, and do all of that. Or if you're someone like me where I have the boon of plenty, I can just remote access the market from my bag. I can get right into the market, and I don't need to actually be in Westmarch to go there. If you don't buy that, you won't have that access, and that's absolutely fine. We have the rarities and antiques vendor. Here, you're going to do your gambling, we call it. You could get 10 pulls per day before it gets more expensive. You have the ability to get legendary pieces of gear from mystery weapons and mystery primary armor. The secondary armor and the jewelry, they will not give you legendaries. I never recommend you spend your gold there. But if you're looking for essences, or if you really need scrap materials, buy 10 of these and 10 of these per day if you have the gold. I'm only hunting for 1 essence right now, so I have not been coming here to get these as of late. We're going to cross the way again, and this is where we have something for our charms. Vas, the Charms Craftsman. This is where you can salvage your charms, upgrade your charms, extract, and do all of the imbuing that you need for your charms, all done right here. And there is an identifier right here also where you can identify any gear, and it looks like I just identified a piece with an arrow up, which is always nice. You also can use your pets for identification, for salvaging equipment, or for switching your loadouts like you would do in the armory if you have a pet that has those utilities on it. That's, again, not an area of Westmarch, so it's a topic for another day. Over here, you have the main essence transfer. This is where you will be inheriting essences. You could be looking at all the essences that you have and allowing you to create those specific builds for your class. And then you have the jeweler right over here. This is the regular jeweler where you can do your gem services. You can upgrade your gems. You can inlay other gems within your gem slots. That'll allow you to get different affects. You could craft gems, and as you can see right now, I have enough telluric fragments to craft a two-star gem. So I'm going to craft another crimson bellet right here. Boom. This is also where you can come and you could do your telluric craft. When you get 40 telluric pearls, you're able to come over here and craft any legendary gem you want to. And then gem power transfer if you want to take the power out of a gem so that the gem doesn't have to be destroyed and use that power elsewhere. You would do it in the gem power transfer. You also can visit Vic over here. Vic is going to allow you to split normal gems, craft legendary gems, and work on your gem resonance. This is how you awaken the slots. Again, all of my slots are purple. They have already been awakened, but you would visit him. You would get what we were showing you, the echo, the dawning echo, and you would awaken those slots once you get the proper requirements to do that. Coming around the corner right here, we have where we deal with our pets. Nizza, the familiar keeper. This is where you can send your pets out on their expeditions. This is why I don't do the sanctum. I just send my pet every day to do the sanctum. I don't do it myself. Shadow contracts can be done there. The accursed towers, which was at the very start of the video, you can even have your pets run the accursed towers for you also. Attribute exchange, contract shop. This is where you get your familiar contracts. You can buy those and that'll help you. That'll allow you to get contracts so that you can then come on over here and you can summon familiars with the contracts. I'm just holding on to contracts. I have no need for additional familiars at this point in time. We have the rite of cleansing, the right here, the moon rite. This is where you're going to take the petals from all the flowers and you're going to begin your rite. This is essentially a way for you to get green crafting materials for your green set items. We're not going to run an example right here. There are 3 different types of stages. Rite 1 gives you the least amount of rewards. Rite 2 gives you a medium amount, and Rite 3 will give you the most amount of rewards. There is no way to manipulate where the flowers lie. They are where they are. There's nothing you can do about it. If we continue up this way, we will get ourselves into an area that is for shadows. This is Bartender Bailey. If you do want to run some shadow contracts, you do it with Bartender Bailey if this will allow me to do it. Let's see what we can get right here. Can I get into the bartender? It's letting me taking that. Okay, cool. Sorry for the distraction here. It wanted me to do something else. Here's the bartender. You could get your shadow contracts here. I don't have any available because I have my pets running my contracts for me. But if you want shadow contracts, you come right here to do those. There's also this area down here, the Court of Whispers, only available for shadows. This is a shadow only area. So let me take you around this downstairs little basement area. This is the map of it. Over here, this is where you're going to be doing your Path of Blood. Path of Blood is when you become a shadow. You go through all these different stages. You get pretty good rewards for it, and it upgrades your shadow status. You have a blacksmith right here if you need to do more blacksmithing. There's a nice little area right in the center if you want to have a seat. You could sit down and relax and have a feast of all the turkey here on the table. But you really don't ever do that, but you could if you wanted to. And then you have these 3 doors over here. This one right here is to run your vault, if you want to run vault.
I need more time.
Right over here, this is where you're going to go every day, the assembly hall. I like to go in the assembly hall because this is where you get your blessings. Depending on your server, 2 times per day, you're able to come into this room and you can get blessings and give blessings to other players. You can get 4 blessings. Essentially, it's a way for you to get experience, extra free experience. And this is also where you will upgrade your shadow status right here at this pillar when you are at that point. Now we're going to come around here. This is where a lot of the battles take place. The Rite of Exile, Rite Practice, Challenge Practice, Shadow War roster management. If you are going to be a part of those battles, which I recommend you are, and participate and be part of it with your clan, that's the area where you're going to go for that. So we're going to run right out of here. Going to get ourselves back into Westmarch. Trying to just backtrack my steps and not teleport out so you can keep a good eye. Here's the bartender again, and we are going to pull out. Now, taking a look at where we are in Westmarch, we are sitting right here in this area. I need to get myself over here to show you what's going on here with Deckard Cain to finalize our tour. So we're just going to go right around the corner, and it is actually right here. Now, there's Deckard Cain. Oh no, that's not Deckard Cain. That's Karshun. Well, Deckard Cain hangs out in here when he's around, when there's story modes going on, but he's not here right now. This is where you're going to go run the Fractured Plane. Great game mode, one of the best event game modes inside of the game. And this is where you are going to run Survivor's Bane, which is the best game mode inside of the game. Those are those 2 areas where those live. And then there's an area down here that used to be where Heliquary is, but now it has changed. And now it has 3 different areas. It also does have a bestiary down here, because when you run a lot of these events, you'll get a lot of monstrous essence to run bestiary. So you have first the Abyssal Verge. Here, you are going to be running through a stage with tons of enemies to get to the boss at the end. It's very quick. It gives you a lot of experience and gear and monstrous essence. It also gives you these Abyssal Essences, which can be used to craft runes. This is probably my favorite of the 3 activities down here. I try to do that daily. We have the gate to Erebon. Erebon is where you're going to be going through a few doors, opening up a bunch of chests, awakening a big boss, and then running as quick as you can, hightailing yourself out of there, not fighting the boss, getting all the rewards, and again, getting yourself Abyssal Essence. And then you have the gate to Vanguard, which is something that I only did 1 time, and that was when this came out. It's not a game mode that I love. You're going to be upgrading a charm along the way, which is not the same charm that you wear. There's some nice rewards that go along here. The game mode is actually quite a bit of fun. It's just a very separate game mode to the rest of Diablo Immortal. Here you got all these, you could go through and see what you have to do here. You take down a bunch of different stages of enemies. You do it with a team. It's actually quite fun, but it doesn't directly correlate to other activities inside of the game. So that's why I choose not to spend my time doing it. That's everything that's over here by Deckard Cain. And right in the center of the map, we have this tree. I'm going to show you where we are on the map again. We're at the central square. This tree, which will change all the time with what it looks like, is where you get into your Heliquary battles. This is where you choose your Heliquary. This is where you can also go and do the endless modes of Heliquary. And, well, yeah, Heliquary is right here when you're setting up those matches. Remember, you should do 5 of those on Monday and 5 of those on Thursday. It resets weekly or twice per week. Right here we have this is essentially where you're going to go check out your warband. You can go to the castle, purge the depth, the defense. Going inside of the castle really quickly, I just want to show you that this is where you're going to turn in your warband chests. You can also sit down here if you want to and enjoy the campfire with your other warband mates. This is an exclusive area to your warband. No one else could come down here. You can go to the warband steward. You can deliver any chests. I don't have any to deliver, but those chests are going to give gear, which you can then borrow from the warband stash if you want to, if there's any gear that fits what you're trying to do with your class. You also have an armory. You also have all of these rooms right here, which I actually never go inside of anymore. This is essentially where you're going to manage the buffs that you're going to be getting for your character, being that you engage in warband activities. All right, that's enough from the warband. I'm just going to teleport myself out. Oh, what is it doing? Is it... That was weird. Okay, I want to teleport myself out. Will it let me out now? Let's see. Teleport. Yes, we want to leave. Wow, it's not letting me get out of here. That's actually quite weird. You also, by the way, while we're down here, you can get your defense right here if you want to. Leave the castle. There we go. Now it's finally giving me that teleport. That was strange. The last thing that I want to show you, because we went through almost everything on the map, is if you are looking for the boat, if you're looking for the ship to go somewhere, it's right over here. The ship transport. You can see it on the map. I don't have to take you over there. The ship transport is right here next to the Vanguard, the Abyssal Verge, all those things that we were just showing you by Deckard Cain's office. Man, there's a lot going on in Westmarch. There's stuff all over the place. And that's just a little guide as to where everything is and what each of those things does in very basic form. Deeper guides are going to be put in place so that you can understand how to be most efficient in all of those separate activities. But today I just wanted you to have a lay of the land, understand the map, and know where you're going inside of Diablo Immortal. If you found the video useful, helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video.